For the mandatory order compelling the National Land Commission to file in this court affidavits demonstrating compliance with the court orders at the expiry of the periods within which they have been ordered to act. The said commission, as well as the second and third respondents and first interested party, have already discharged this burden by marking the boundary features on the ground between the fourth and fifth respondents and by filing a report on the same in court. Finally, although the petitioner has not succeeded in showing that as a person, he was vexed twice by the revenue collectors. What he did by coming to court is an action that has helped the people of Keroka and also the people of Nyamira and Kisii, because the tension that was there, knowing where the boundary is and fighting over it, I grant him the cause of this suit. I believe this is a win-win situation. The boundary is there. The service agreement, you can go back to it, or you can decide to do away with it. But again, I also want to thank the people of Keroka, the people of Nyamira, the people of Kisii at large in general, for when this matter was brought to court, and also the fighting that was there came to an end. So let's go back to our businesses. Keroka is a very beautiful and hardworking lady. Let's make use of her for the benefit of the larger Abagusi community and even the other communities living there. I've known Kisii to be very united. You don't have to fight over a boundary at all. All you need to do is to somebody wants to fight to be seen to be collecting more revenue than the other. Mheshimiwa Simba Arati to tell his people to confine themselves territory, however small, however big, that whoever determined that boundary must have done it for the good of the people. So even if one passes the review of boundaries, but before then, and if at all it doesn't happen, if that boundary is not reviewed, let's stick to those boundaries. We've had situations, I was told by head of Keroka Station, Honorable Kimutai, that people would even protest to be taken to Keroka court if they are from the other side, because Keroka court is on the side of Nyamira. So people from Kisii would not want to be brought there. The national government will not act like that. There are some, even when arrested and taken to the police station, they say we don't belong to this territory. Kenya is one, and in discharging the services to the people and in administration, the national government disregards the boundaries. So the county governments also, when it comes to service delivery, you can have a joint agreement as you had one here. Unfortunately, those people who came up with a bright idea are no longer in power, but they are still with us. Many of them, apart from the late Mheshimiwa Nyagarama, all the others are around. You can still invite them to tell you what they had in mind and to tell you what the mischief was before they came up with the service delivery, which is provided for. the service delivery agreement is provided for by law. So you can still get back to it. If it has failed to work in the past, that does not mean that it cannot be rekindled and re-energized. For the sake of the two, why should we have, for instance, let me ask you, why should we have a firefighting engine in Keroka on the side of Nyamira and another one on the side of Kisi? It's unnecessary. In fact, Mheshimiwa, you ask me, you should sit down and agree on where the airport should be. Why should you have an airport in Nyamira and another one in Kisi? How many passengers will be using those services? Can you get united? Let's use the wisdom of His Excellency Amos and the latest learning of the youthful Honorable Simba Arati. Get together. Let's have the people of the Abagusi community as a community. The other alternative is we say, okay, let's merge the two counties. If you cannot agree on the boundary, then let's now merge the two counties. I am sure, I'm sure nobody will take it lying low. But because there are two counties in this region serving the community, there has to be a boundary somewhere. And since the boundary was set by the rightful people, can we respect that boundary? Yes, Mr. Odinga.
With your kind permission,
yes,
I'm really grateful to the court for the judgment.
Yes.
I have an application to make.
Yes, please.
I pray for a certified copy of the judgment rendered by the court.
Mr. Odinga.
Yes, my lord.
Once again, yes, I refer you to Ms. Kerubo.
Yes.
Who serves me.
Yes.
You just see her,
Yes.
and you get it as soon as it's edited.
That's enough, my lord.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Judgment.
Certified copy of
Goja.
Yes.
Read and delivered in the presence Ndary, the governor, Nyamira County.
Then second.
Utanipea wakati niandike. Why are you so excited? You didn't expect that.
No, my lord.
You didn't expect that judgment.
No, we expect.
The hula balloon that was here before was just side issue. Because I believe you are now happy for your client.
Well, I'm coming to that.
Okay. So now, Mr. Oginga.
Yes.
Now tell me what you are saying.
Then the second one is certified proceedings.
Yes.
Then thirdly, and my main application, my lord, I pray for a stay of execution and implementation.
Okay.
Of this court's judgment. Pending filing an appeal. Now, my lord, given that the question of the boundary is at the heart of the dispute, we wish to pursue a second opinion of the Court of Appeal, especially to determine the question whether even the parties by consent can confer this court with the jurisdiction to determine the delineation of the boundaries of an urban area in light of the provisions of Section 4A of the Urban Areas and Cities Act. Thirdly, my Lord, under Article 47 of the Constitution, one of the requirements of a decision is the test of legality. So that where the Urban Areas and Cities Act, under Section 4, provides for a procedure, my Lord, where even parties and an ad hoc committee is to be established to determine boundaries of an urban area, that is a test of legality.
Were we dealing with the Keroka as an urban area or the political boundaries?
My Lord, I'm coming to that as well. Yeah. So that under this provision, as read with the County Governments Act, this is one of the national legislation anticipated for the settlement of boundary of urban areas issues. So that the question we'll be inviting the appellate court to determine is whether the court and the parties can consent to go outside the ambit of Section 4A of the Urban Areas and Cities Act and come up with a committee and make a finding and a report to determine the boundary of an urban area, and for this case it's for Keroka town.
So you want stay of execution?
Stay of execution, my Lord.
Don't argue the appeal before me.
My Lord, I'm coming, it's important because I'm coming to another important question which you've raised.
Yes.
Now, in our letter, my Lord, to this court on 2nd February,
Please don't
yes.
put that letter.
Yes.
It came when I was in the middle of the writing the judgment.
Yes.
And I did not want to look at it.
That's in order, my Lord. But for the court's attention, now the governor for the Nyamira County gazetted Keroka town as a municipality. And it was in Gazette Notice Volume dated 30 January 2024.
Yes, I've taken judicial notice.
So that this was basically the content of our letter also, which the court
you agree with me, Mr.
Yes.
Obinga,
Yes, yes.
that I would not have mentioned that in my judgment, isn't it?
My Lord, I take a different view.
Yes.
Because the gazettement came while the matter was alive before the court. Yes. So that it was prudent for them, not even us necessarily, to notify the court of that.
What happens in a situation like that, Mr. Obinga? The judgment is not yet delivered. Yes. Yes. Some things have happened.
Yes.
What should an advocate do?
We notify the court.
Not by way of letter.
Yes, my Lord, given it's a gazette notice.
You arrest the judgment. You arrest
Yes,
the delivery of the judgment. Okay?
Yes, my Lord.
Had you done that, I would have arrested it.
Yes, my Lord.
I mean, I would have waited.
My Lord, I'm rightly guided, although a gazette notice is something the court takes judicial notice of. Yes. And you rightly pointed out that, my Lord, you also took a notice, judicial notice, of that gazette notice. And it also goes to the very heart of your decision, and that, my Lord. So that
by the time that gazette notice was done, yes, I'd already written my judgment.
I'm not already.
I'd already written my judgment, so I would not. In fact, in any case, I've not gone. I just saw it at a glance. Yes, I did not want to read it so that it doesn't. And in any case, even if I read it, yes, I was not going to revise my judgment.
That's in order, my Lord. So that this is some.
But you still have recourse, is it, don't you?
Yes, yes.
You still have recourse. So let's not entertain that. If a party decides to behave that way in the course of the case before it's over, you still have recourse.
My apologies, my Lord.
No apologies. But you have a client whom you have to
yes, my Lord. So these are some of the issues we wish to have a second opinion on the Court of Appeal. And finally, my Lord.
It's not a second opinion.
Yes, my Lord.
You know, when you talk of second opinion, you mean that opinion is at par with mine.
My Lord.
You get it? Yes. The Court of Appeal does not give a second opinion. You know, when you have two opinions, yes, you have a choice to go by either. Yes. Correct. So it means that they are at par.
Yes.
But these are people who have appellate jurisdiction. The Court of Appeal has appellate jurisdiction over my opinions, and even call them nonsense.
That is in order.
Yes?
My
You know,
my lord.
I'm saying it's a software of council saying that they are not satisfied with the judgment.
Yes.
Yes. Then finally, my lord, again emanating from your decision,
Yes.
no order was sought in the petition to quash or annul the joint agreement by the two counties, my lord.
Yes.
So that based on these circumstances, I pray that we
Can I read the judgment for you?
My lord, we've endured the judgment.
No. Can I read the judgment on that part?
Yes. And that is the
Mr. Oginga,
yes.
is it the son in Nyamira? Let me read B for you. No, is it B or no, D? Should any party feel that the service delivery agreement entered into between Kisii County and Nyamira County in respect to Keroka Town on 21st May 2014 is not working, has outlived its purposes, or that the same ought to be brought to an end, or that there is a dispute arising from the said agreement, or for whatever reason such a dispute ought to and should be first referred to mediation, arbitration, or resolution under the Intergovernmental Relations Act number 20 of 2012.
Yes, my
Have
lord.
I made any decision on it?
No, my
All
lord.
that I've said is I've no jurisdiction.
Yes, my lord.
Maybe in friendly terms,
Yes, my lord.
or in terms not showing that the court is powerless.
Yes, my lord. So that
So I've said
yes.
I have no jurisdiction over that.
Yes.
Tell Ms. Kisesa to take it to the Intergovernmental Relations and to have it mediated under Intergovernmental Relations Act. Not me, not Mogo.
That's another my lord. So that in the circumstances, I'm praying for a stay of this court's judgment.
Yes.
That's all, my lord.
Mainly on the boundary.
The entire decision, my lord.
The entire decision.
Yes.
No problem. Yes, anybody would want? Yes, Mr. Maeche.
Thank you, Your Lordship. On the state of the execution, I don't know how it will work out, since because you said that it will be illegal for a person to be taxed twice.
Yes.
So if Nyamira is claiming that portion of land and Kisii is claiming that portion of land, if there is a stay of the execution, then Nyamira will go ahead and continue collecting tax there, and Kisii County will go ahead and collect tax there. So I don't know how that stay of execution will work. Secondly, Your Lordship, a clarification on costs, whether it is all the respondents to bear the cost.
No, it's against the fourth and fifth respondents because they are the ones who slept on the job. That issue, when it arose, Your Excellency, when the tension started, it's Mr. Honorable Gisesa who decided it should come to an end and brought it to the court. You people should have acted very swiftly to tame your people. So that's why I'm giving him cause against the two counties. Because this is a true son of the community. Where is Mheshimiwa Gisesa? This is a true son of the community. No wonder he has described himself in so many words here, so many titles here. There is a future in him. He's a leader. He's a leader because he cares for the people. He heard the cries of his people because they were butchering one another. So that's why I'm awarding him. I had to decide whether to give you cause or not. But I decided to give him because he got concerned. we all agree that the tension was, you can have a seat in Shima. The tension had attracted the eyes of everybody in the country. It was the news every day. It was every quite Nyamira kunachomeka. In fact, by that time, I was on vacation or on leave, and I was being alerted, oh, Nyamira kiss, Nyamira kiss. So, this man deserves the cause because he rose to the occasion and decided to bring the suffering of the people to an end. So, you are through, Mr. Maite.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Anybody?
So in essence, I'm opposing the stay of the petition.
Okay, asante. Anybody else who has anything to say? Mr. Nyagarama, you are not in this matter. Mr. Bonuke?
My Lord, we've heard you.
Yes.
I've heard my colleague, Mr. Oginga. I've been listening to my colleague, Mr. Maisha.
Pardon?
I've also had my share of course, the state.
Yes.
My take on the issue of state would be that prior to today, Keroka is still ongoing. So regardless of the state, Keroka business, Keroka town business will still go on.
Yes.
And regardless of the appeal, the happenings, the business in Keroka will still go on. So you make it case to my Lord to grant parties that avenue they are sought. Yes.
Which party has? Which party?
Mr. Ogingas, yes, I'm not opposed to it stay because it's a right guarantee.
But your interest was the agreement, the service agreement.
Yes,
That's what you are fighting for. And have I annulled the agreement?
No.
Yes.
In fact, I was the one pushing for the agent.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, and I told you hold your horses.
Yes.
Hold your horses.
So on that bit, my Lord, we are satisfied with what the court has said on that.
And you want it stayed again. Because
no, my Lord,
if you want it, if you want it stayed, because staying it means
yes,
nobody now can move the
intergovernmental committee.
Yes.
My Lord, I do not know whether you stay one hand and the other one proceed. So that's why
you are in a state of
yes,
indifference.
yes.
Okay, let's hear who else is here to be. Let's hear Nyamira, Mr.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Remind me your name.
I'm going to be opposed to the stay of the petition. Your Lordship, my client has been right now to one collection of taxes in this case. And granting my colleague the stay of the execution of the same, it will be taking us back to the case because now people will be opposed to tackle collection of the taxes. And it's likely because again the close we are before we started this case in this court. So I'm strongly opposing the state of the execution.
Thank you. Yes, Miss Bundi.
With your kind permission, I don't know.
Why do you want to have a second bite?
Because I already spoke.
Yes.
Yes, I was wondering, is a stay of the execution a right or an appeal? I think an appeal is what is someone's right.
Yes, it's at my discretion.
Yes,
it's at my
the
discretion.
of the court.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So you might as well decline the stay.
Is there any party who has not been heard on this? Oh, Mr. Ndary too.
Yes.
Finally, you are here. No, your office must be very warm.
Lord, I've heard the judge. I was worried about the issue of costs because we did not find my clients who have done anything wrong. But it's good we applied for a copy of the judgment.
Yes, that you know. I've given you this one, but I have to do it.
Okay. I was expecting to have it today.
You know, in your office you have several councils.
Yes.
I'm the only EOC judge in Nyamira, the entire county. Nobody else can do the editing for me. Yes. So just give me some, maybe by Monday, edition, or even tomorrow. So do you oppose or you support the state? IBC, their council for IBC.
It was online. I don't know whether it came back and live because it was texting me that we are off.
Yes, there's some time we had power. Go ahead. A politician can audio on. Can those online hear me now? Let's let me pick somebody. Mr. Okemwa, can you hear me?
Yes, my lord, I can.
So thank you. Who is the advocate for IBC? Okay. Mr. Anyoka? Now. Yes. Mr.
Yes, my lord. I do have a representation.
Yes.
I wish to step aside from something small, my lord. If you allow me.
Yes.
My lord, the issue of municipality was, I wanted to make it clear that it was it's a process. Creating a municipality is a process. And it was not meant to undermine the court process. It's a process that started a long time ago and comprises of Rigoma Ward, Chuba Ward, and Esima Ward.
If I were you,
Yes, my lord.
I would not bring up that issue.
Thank you,
Because
my lord.
if should I fight that it was done wrongly, you go without your governor. You go without your governor for content.
I'm well guided. My lord, it's the impression that which was being raised by my
I didn't capture the impression.
Thank you,
I didn't want to capture the, because if you bring it out, we may end up, and you know what it means.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Nasaki nimsumbua hapa ati judge, gavana wetu. This is what Mr. Oginga will tell you. Sasa go ahead. Lakini wananisikia. Misanyoka? Misanyoka? There are so many hands up here. Can you put this one on, Nani? Yes.
Your Honor, are you able to hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Your Honor, sorry, I have some connectivity challenges.
We also had some lapses of. Yes. So there's an application. Did you hear the judgment?
I did get the full judgment.
Yes.
However, I had the application for my colleague, Mr. Ogiba,
Yes.
on behalf of citizen conflict interested party.
Yes, the fourth interested. No, the fourth respondent.
Yes, the fourth respondent.
Yes.
But if you're not, I had received from stay.
Yes.
Stay of execution of the judgment.
Yes.
I only have one reservation on that issue.
Yes.
He has based his application on mixed issues of fact and law.
Yes.
The court has been called upon to exercise its jurisdiction.
Yes. Yes. Pardon? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Mr. Anyoka. Mr. Anyoka? Could it be the issue of internet? Yes. 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 Yes, what do you have to say over the issue of stay of execution? I think we are having internet failure. Everybody, yes. Yes, I can hear you.
This is my submission, Fellowship.
Yes.
The application is based on both issues, law and fact. For the court to grant stay of execution,
Yes.
one has to demonstrate some two rules.
Yes.
Whether he has an army of appeal and as to whether or not the appeal will be rendered negative.
Yes.
To discharge the element or the rule of whether or not the appeal is negative, that shall be on issue of fact.
Yes.
And the facts shall only be gathered before court, not from the bar. But the truth and affidavit by whoever seeks to seek for stay or execution or judgment. What therefore does that call for? The applicant or the court respondent then has to make a formal application.
Yes.
Supported by evidence or an affidavit.
Okay, I get your point, Mr. Anyoka. I get your point.
So that the party shall have a chance
to respond.
In order to aid the court to be able to make some informed decision as to whether or not to grant stay.
Yes.
So on that thing, on those grounds, we oppose the application. The same is premature, and that we urge the court to direct as such.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you. National Land Commission. Anybody from National Land Commission? Who? Okay, Ma, why is your hand up? Is Karanja online? Mr. Karanja? Okay, this is my ruling. Mr. Oginga.
Yes,
I don't know whether you are following this matter before you are engaged.
Yes.
Were you following it up?
Yes.
Right from the beginning?
Yes.
Now, you agree with me that before we went to mark the boundaries, we visited the place where the boundaries marked. There was a lot of tension and infighting. Actually, serious infighting. And this is not anything that is common among the Abagusi. The tension was so high that we would not want to get back to it. If we stay the orders, what that means is that nobody will now know where the boundaries are. You get it?
Yes.
Because that's what it means. That's what it means. Yes. That the boundaries now are not known. Is that not what it means? We are now reversing that order, or staying it, that the boundaries are not known. And the word that will go out there is, Jaji, ile boundaries alituonyesha Sasa ametuambia hakutuonyesha, kwa hivyo hatujui mahali boundary iko. Now there are these people we have said who do not come from either your client or Honorable Nyaribo's office, who have been collecting revenues there. They continue doing it. So we shall again have chaos. And these people have decided to respect the court. These are people who believe that court orders are not pieces of paper. They are ready to abide by the court orders. You remember the sentiments you made last time when you finished the submissions. Remember what Mr. Bosota said? I don't see him today. You remember what he said? Judge, ever since you started this matter, there has been peace and calm in Keroka. And the tension that has been there is normal. So let's just maintain those boundaries as they are, so that there is that order. Should the Court of Appeal overturn my decision, definitely it will give a solution. Or if maybe it may refer the parties to some other body, as I've referred them in the issue of service delivery. So let's have the boundaries maintained as they are. Again, you see, if we stay the orders, it is your contention that the issue of service delivery ought to have been referred to arbitration under the Intergovernmental Relations Act. If we stay that today, what are we saying? It cannot be referred there. And then the issue of service delivery is in jeopardy. Because who gives the services? These gentlemen agreed. These two counties agreed on the service delivery, on how they will do it. So they'll say that has also been stated. And I've not given Honorable Gisele, is it Gisese, the orders he wanted on service delivery to declare that joint service delivery to be a narrative. So if they have been conducting service delivery jointly, and we stay that order, you see now we are back to chaos. Utakuta takataka all over. You see. So for the sake of public interest, let's not grant the stay. I'll not even tell you to make a formal application. I'll disallow it because that is brooding chaos. You see. Let me not say much, but at least you get what I mean. Yes. You know, I found you to be a very brilliant young lawyer when you made your submissions here. So I believe you can appreciate what having peace in a town like that, and for people doing business in a conducive atmosphere is all about. So. Any other issue? Yes, Mr. Nyoka.
Yes, I have some maybe concluding remarks on behalf of the commission.
Yes.
I didn't have a chance because my call out earlier on.
Yes.
On behalf of the commission, I would say this is a special commendation to the court.
Yes.
This being a precedent-setting decision.
Yes.
Whereas the court has initially judged its constitutional mandate to the constitution.
Yes.
I also thank my colleagues who have conducted themselves with a lot of honor and economic understanding the facts that are involved in these proceedings.
Yes.
I also commend the petitioner for electing to pursue the constitutional and legal path.
Yes.
I also believe the issue has been put to rest. Let this be accepted as a win for the people of Keroka Township. Kisi and Nyamira counties and Kenyans in general. I'm urging the two leaders, that is His Excellency Honorable Sibarati and His Excellency Osmariko,
He's in court.
including other political leaders, to use this decision to unite them. Those who think they have had victory should celebrate silently in unity and to back to the CEOs of both counties. Now that they know where and from who to collect taxes, I believe they now also know to who and where to render services. There are various services which are urgent services which must be acted upon immediately. Ambulance services, street lighting, traffic, parking rates, including firefighting services. I always ask myself if the fire broke out within the disputed area as Keroka Township. How are the two leaders or the two entities or counties going to respond in such circumstances of distress? So we believe also as a commission, we did our best to assist the court in accordance with our constitutional mandate. That's in terms of Article 88 and 89 of the Constitution. Thank you very much, Your Lordship, and may God bless the great counties of Nyamira and Kisi and Kenyans.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also, Your Lordship, I wanted also to commend the court for the guidance they have given us from the filing of this petition with this conclusion. I also want to thank my colleagues here for the courtesy they have been extending to me and to each other. And I also want to thank the petitioner for coming up with this idea and ensuring that the issue is resolved at Keroka. I also echo the sentiments of my senior knocker that let the political leaders respect the court decision so that we can have harmony and peace in that area. God bless you.
Amen. Now, Mheshimiwa, Your Excellency, do you have anything to say to your people? I know ulikuja na mashabiki wako hapa.
Honorable Judge,
Yes.
our lawyers will be involved, and other partners. If you go along, the honor they have given the court, I agree with your judgment, and I think it's going to bring us peace in Keroka. It's a presidency which should be followed in the future engagement. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support.
Continue to give him a coffee, otherwise come Now I want to address everybody, particularly the residents of both counties. You find that we are doing this matter as if in a slightly not very formal way. Okay, the judgment is very formal, everything has gone on but they win now after judgment. The discussion we are having is that we need the people of Keroka to do business peacefully, to live harmoniously. The two countries are predominantly one community and a very hardworking community. Let Keroka boundary not divide us. When you want to answer a call of nature, you are in Keroka, you don't ask whether it is in Keroka Kisii or Keroka Nyamira. You go to the one that is nearest. Okay? You go to the washroom that is nearest. When you want to buy a soda, you go to the shop that is nearest you, regardless of which side of the divide it is. Even churches. But if the trend goes on as it is, then people will even not marry from across the boundary. Hapana, huyu anatoka Kisii, Keroka Kisii, na wewe ni wa Nyamira Kisii, ya Nyamira Keroka. So let's not go to such extents. Let's, as His Excellency the Governor has said, let's maintain the boundary as it is and live harmoniously. And that's why I said I would not want to divide you people as a judge. Even in my judgment, I've tried as much as possible, though giving judgment as it is and granting the prayers that deserved to be granted, but at the same time, asked you to reconsider the service delivery agreement and see whether you can have some services granted together, or rather services delivered jointly between the two counties. If you say somebody coming to start a business there, he'll think of the profits you'll get. He'll not think of this side or that side. So let's maintain that. Sawa sawa? So mwende murejeshe amani. Hiyo mipaka, even as the appeal is filed by one of the parties, hiyo mipaka ikae vile mlionyeshwa wakati ule mwingine. Keroka is one of the places that have brewed so many cases in my court. And some people have had their stalls demolished. Others have had their plots repossessed. There are those who have come to court saying that what had been allocated to them has now been turned into a marketplace and that kind of thing. So Keroka is a hot place. Let's not make it hotter. Let's try to cool it. And that's why I've told you, get down the trees and look at the forest. In other words, look at the bigger picture. This town can serve the whole of this region. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The court will arise.